Brandon from 1% Better here, checking in. Long time no see. It seems I make a video update on camera at least every 1.5 years or so. Now you might be wondering, what's been going on with the channel, and then I want to share a bit about my own life and how that's changed and ultimately how that affects the channel. In general, compared to many years ago when uploads were more frequent, a lot has changed. And in my personal life. So videos have been a bit slow to release, but we have been a bit more active recently, which has been cool. Very soon we've got Jordan Peterson's video releasing, a book summary on his new book, Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life. So get keen for that. A lot's changed. So the self-improvement thing, right? I started self-improvement when I was 17. I read my first book, Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming, by Stephen LaBarge, and changed everything for me. That's when I started reading. So I'm 26 years old now. It's been a good 9 years. 9 years into the self-improvement stuff. Now, it's approximately 12 months ago where I had a massive shift. You've probably had big shifts in your life where it's kind of those no going back moments, or one of those mindset shifts where it just changes everything for you, whether it's in business or just in life in general. And I had one of those. And what happened was I'm going to cut this short because we could be here for an hour. Unless you want that, maybe on a new channel I'm creating called Modern Zen, link in description, which we'll get to soon. Perhaps do some on-camera stuff and self-improvement, spirituality news, things like that, and just to share more on-camera stuff. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. But anyway, what happened was I went to this beach group who did Wim Hof breathing, and there was something about the vibe there that was very loving, very open, and very accepting. And there was hugs and stuff, and it was a little bit hippy-dippy, but I was all for it. At heart, I'm half hippie, half businessman. That's kind of how I see myself. Slowly moving more monk-like. So we'll get to that. I was driving home from this beach event, and something happened, like joy welled up within me. Joy is a really nice feeling to feel. And it didn't go away for 3 weeks. And 3 weeks in, all these 3 weeks I was telling myself, sometimes you just feel good for no apparent reason, and it's probably just riding a wave of happiness, so let's just enjoy it. But it wasn't even happiness, it was joy. Joy's like happiness on steroids. And joy, it doesn't require anything. It's just there. And it's enough in and of itself. It's more than enough. And it's almost like an extroverted version of happiness, but without being contingent on anything. And so it was erupting in my being, and boy, just frolicking and joviality and jubilance. Flowers and sunshine and daisies and roses. What more can I say? And I was smiling. And I knew something was up when this thing wouldn't go away, because every morning I was waking up. And this was just last year. I was waking up every day, just high on life. And I kind of had this before, but this was distinctly different. It was joy. And it wouldn't go away after 3 weeks. I've had some of these minor experiences in the past, but it was more so happiness. This one was joy. I keep saying joy because joy is distinct from peace and love and all this other stuff. Joy. And so I thought, all right, something's up here, because it hasn't gone away. This seems too good to be true. So what I did was I turned to some spiritual books, and one I picked up was Inner Engineering by Sadhguru. And it was just nice to read about others' experiences of this, because I thought I was like the only one, and it was kind of a bit isolating, actually, as fun and jubilant and jovial as it was. But a bit isolating. Like, is this... And a bit confused. Does this keep going or what? And it turns out it does, because it went for another 5 to 6 months. And during that period, I was just chewing through these books, and I came across Osho, who I think is absolutely incredible and incredibly wise, full of truth bombs, in spite of the documentaries around him that focus more on the cult thing that came up, and how it was sort of misled by Sheila, the one that Osho put in charge and whatever. So that gets a lot of attention. But what doesn't get attention is Osho's teachings themselves and actually putting them into practice. That's where the juice is, I found in my experience. So I came across Osho. I've probably read 15 Osho books now, and a bunch of others on consciousness and spirituality. And yeah, so 5 to 6 months this lasted, and then life kind of went back to normal, dropped off a bit, and I was faced with this big dark cloud of loneliness, which yeah, that's probably yeah the main issue I've been facing in my life. Everyone's kind of got their thing, depression, anxiety, whatever it is. For me, it's been loneliness. It's been sort of a recurring theme. So that sort of came back. Yeah, things went a bit sour, but now I knew what was possible. 5 to 6 months of joy straight. What's going on? And I've been doing this self improvement work for a long time. And one of the major themes is actually stemmed from Stoicism. And that is the idea of acceptance, accepting the inevitable. Okay? And I've done a lot of inner work to face demons and be comfortable with my own feelings and expressing them, and grieving the death of my mother. That was kind of the last one that took a bit of time to finally work through, but yeah, now it's chill. Like, yeah, it's a part of life, and I don't feel like there's much to really fucking explore there anymore. Like, when it gets brought up, and I'm in a men's group and we do shadow work, I don't know, there's just not much going on anymore, because I feel so light. I feel so peaceful most of the time. It's just, to be past oriented and thinking about the past and diving and exploring, especially based on memory and past negative experiences, it just doesn't really do anything for me now. Now what I actually turn towards more is contemplation work and things like deciphering the sense perceptions that I perceive, and as a way of raising consciousness. Anyway, slightly off track, back to the joy thing. 5 to 6 months of joy, into loneliness. And then love came back, unconditional love. I mean, that's a whole separate video, but we'll get off track here. Long story short, I'm now living in the Gold Coast, Australia, originally from Adelaide, South Australia. But Gold Coast, it's where I wanted to move. I had it on my dream board. Now here I am. Heck yeah, made a bunch of new friends, and yeah, nature's at my doorstep, and really, really nice place to be, and super grateful for how life is right now. Yeah, now regarding the channel, because I've been so occupied with this spiritual path in the last 12 months, it's just kind of throwing my whole life into, how do I put this? Yeah, once I've had this year 2 very potent spiritual experiences, and this is in addition to the joy explosion. Yeah, and I'm not going to go into detail here, perhaps on the Modern Zen channel. Again, links in the description, if I decide to go through with that, which I think I will. I might cover that in detail, but yeah, 2 spiritual experiences that really just bring you out of this sense of self you've had your entire life, and you sort of see through the matrix. Now, I know that word, the matrix, is very overused. People think they've exited the matrix once they see that the education system's fucked, and their parents taught them a bunch of crap. But it goes much deeper than that. Once you have, say, an experience of no self, or experiencing a high state of consciousness, it really pierces you, and there's a lot of spiritual traps. Spiritual ego can come in, all of this sort of stuff. And so there's a lot of, one of my friends just told me the other day, he thought he was Jesus for a few years after having some kind of 5-MeO or DMT experience, I think. I've had 2 experiences in completely sober states, which has completely thrown me out of whack, and but in a good way. I experience much more peace these days. It's insane. And now I see the value in consciousness work and self-actualization, more so than self-improvement. So self-improvement still has value, don't get me wrong. Going to the gym, keeping your body well, nutrition, and learning how to navigate business and strategic thinking, all these things are definitely useful. However, consciousness work and meditation and various sorts of methods, Advaita Vedanta and yoga and classic sit-down meditation, contemplation, all these things offer some pretty wild returns in some sense, return on investment. As far as inner peace goes, it's a whole separate topic. So that's where I'm at. We're still creating videos, slowly but surely. There may be a switch in the direction of the channel, moving a bit towards more kind of what After School is doing, if you're familiar with that YouTube channel. consciousness, spirituality, because at the end of the day, when it comes to, I went through my phase of, picking up women and chasing women and doing all that stuff. And, that's just gone now, because like when you're chasing these things, chasing success and multi-million dollars, you can do all this. There's nothing wrong with it. You can absolutely do this. However, I guess once you've kind of seen through the illusion and had some experiences, and you feel inner peace, and that inner peace is just enough, there's not much reason for making the $100 million unless, yeah, of course, it's great to put that towards giving back to society and helping maybe restructure it to facilitate an environment where more love and consciousness can grow. But apart from that, in terms of individual, like, I could go on a private jet and stuff, and it could be like a cool experience and stuff, but it just doesn't do much. Once inner peace is flowing through you, man, the simplest things, having a coffee like I had this morning, going out, what I love to do recently is just sitting on a park bench in nature. So many hours I've just been out there just appreciating the complete and utter beauty of birds flapping their wings, of water flowing through the creek, of the green grass swaying, of the Bodhi trees out there. Man, like, there is a world happening out there at my doorstep, and probably at your doorstep too, unless you're in a suburban New York City type situation. We got Central Park, assuming you can go there. I don't know what's happening there. Head out the news sometimes, but yeah, that's where I'm at with that stuff. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on updates.